To be a graphic designer, you need technology. And today I thought I would show you the technology, the gadgets, just general tech that I use day in and day out for graphic design. Number one is the MacBook. We all work off MacBooks here. A few years ago, you couldn't use laptops really for design because they were kind of slow. But I have the 16-inch MacBook Pro with the M3 Max chip, I believe. Let me just check. I'm gonna do these double checks to make sure. Yeah, M3 Max is 64 gigabytes of memory with a 1 terabyte hard drive. This is by far the most, or one of the most expensive pieces of kit that I have. And to be fair to everyone, this is overkill. The MacBook Pro is an amazing machine because it's powerful, it is got a great form factor, but this is definitely overkill for normal graphic designers because I do a lot of video as well. We do a lot of 3D rendering, so we needed a very powerful laptop for everyone to match. The other reason why we go for laptops like this is because we have beautiful display. The display is the most important thing in the arsenal of a graphic designer. A lot of people think it's speed, but that is not the case. The way that we use our MacBooks is not using it as a MacBook. We actually dock them in, and we have a few different displays that we use, but the ones that we love the most are the ones that BenQ sent to us. Most recently, they sent me their new monitor aimed at designers. It's called the BenQ 27-inch 5K PD2730S designer monitor. Basically the 5K designer monitor from BenQ. I've been using it for a few weeks now at home in my home studio. Here in the office we have other monitors including BenQ monitors, but I will say this monitor has been a dream to work with. If you're a designer, there's a reason we use Macs. That's because of the display, and this monitor perfectly replicates the MacBook display when I'm using it. It's 5K and it has the perfect pixel density for Macs, so it feels really nice when using it as a display for my MacBook. And if you don't know, I don't have an iMac that I work on. I simply just use my MacBook plugged in through one Thunderbolt. There are a lot of specs that are very modern within this display, you know, having HDR, P3 color gamut, everything there. But in reality, the best part about this display is that it just plugs in and works, and it's calibrated. It looks nice, it feels responsive when you're using it, and it just looks the part when you're in the studio. Also, something that I'm not used to is having kind of this matte display. I've been used to having shiny glass displays, and they look good, but they get dirty quite a lot and there's a lot of reflection. So having this matte display on the BenQ 5K monitor has been really nice to be able to not have any glare poking at my eyes when I'm working. In fact, it's called the Nano Matte Panel and it diffuses light, something that you have to pay for in other monitors. It also comes with this wireless hotkey puck. This allows you to change the display settings, and I'm sure you can add other hotkeys, but it's just really nice to have to be able to change brightness and display settings, different ways of doing it, not touching the monitor. It just feels very intuitive, and it's wireless, which is great. A lot of you guys have been wondering what monitor I've been using recently in my past few videos, and it has been that one because I've been testing it out. BenQ sent it to me for me to show you guys, and I'm being honest, it's really good. I've really enjoyed it. It's lightweight. I can take it from home to the office. It's very sturdy when it's down. It's thin. I don't really have any complaints. And also, you've got so many different color modes of it. It's insane. For any of you nerds out there that want to know more of the specs, I've got them right here. It is a 2001 high contrast ratio. It has 400 nits of brightness versus HDR 400. That's essential for high dynamic range content. It has Thunderbolt 4 with the power delivery to power your MacBook. So you just have to plug in one cable and you're sorted. It's all good. And it wakes up very fast. When I just want to use my MacBook and it's been sleeping for a while, it just wakes up as you would expect it. It just simply works. If you'd like to learn more about this new BenQ monitor, then I'll leave a link in the description below. Thank you for BenQ for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so we've got the computer, we've got the display, we understand why we have them. What's next? I think I'm going to go for the mouse and keyboard. Nothing beats a good keyboard and mouse combination today. I cannot use the Apple Magic Mouse, it sucks. Instead, I use the Logitech MX3S Pro, MX Master 3S. This mouse is incredible. I've got 3 of them. I've got one here, another one somewhere else, and one at home. They're ergonomic, they feel good in the hands, and they just feel good. They're very accurate as well. Same with the keyboards. I just love the MX Master 3S white keyboard that I've got here. It's small, so I can move it around my desk. I can take it away with me if I need to. These keyboards are a must. Something else that's Logitech as well, and it's specifically for creators, are this. It's called the MX Creative Console, and it is 2 things. We use the Logitech MX Creative keypad here. This, you can program shortcuts, program literally anything into these, and this one is just a dial with a button. It makes using and working on your computer feel a bit more tangible, so you're not just always on a keyboard and mouse. Obviously, I do use these, not as much as I would like. I think our editor probably uses them more, just because they work so well for like cutting. They're also great for color grading, things like that, or if we're in Lightroom taking brand images, editing brand images, we would use these. Just really great all-round pieces of kit. Speaking of images and taking images, we also have cameras. Now, I've got quite a few different cameras that we use. Here I have the Canon EOS 60 Mark II with a 50mm lens, prime lens on it. This camera is a beast. It's just heavy but comfortable and kind of, you know, he's thick. And we also have the Fujifilm X-T3s. Now, the reason why I got these were because I've got 2 of them. The reason why is for filming. They're amazing. They're great cameras for filming. We've recently just upgraded to the Sony FX3, but a camera for a graphic designer is very important, not only just because you want to take images of products you've worked with, it allows you to not have to take stock images. When you have a camera, not only can you use it for social media, for taking images off your work, of you working for social media, but having a professional grade camera like the Fujifilm X-T3, specifically this one, gives you amazing grain effects straight out of the camera. It's really small and versatile, great for video, and who doesn't love an aperture ring? Well, that sounds good. So if you're a graphic designer and you're looking at things that you need, whether it's more product images or whatever, then I would always suggest getting yourself a good DSLR camera or a good mirrorless. It doesn't have to be brand new. These X-T3s cost like $1,000 or something. I don't even know if they make them anymore, but very good to have, to take pictures and to do everything you need to do. The Osmo Pocket 3. This thing is a beast. It goes like, it's like a little gimbal action camera made basically for content creators. If you wanted to see what it looks like with you there, that's it there, you're on there, the sensor and everything. Over here, this is what it looks like for me from behind, a bit different, so there you go. And it folds away really nicely. Now, I'll be honest, the reason why I got this is not because I'm a graphic designer, but because as a graphic designer, I post online a lot. I do stories on Instagram. I like to just take quick video of everything that I'm doing. And with this, you have basically a video camera and you have a wireless mic with something called 32-bit float, which if you're not a film person, like we have to be, it's just very good. It's a very convenient thing to have with you if we're at an event and we need to record something, it's there. So if you're looking to do Instagram or social media content for your clients or for yourself to promote your design business, this is definitely something to get. One thing that I think is an amazing thing to get is this. It's called the A10 Mini Pro ISO. And this is probably overkill, but this is basically a switchboard. What it allows you to do is to plug in your DSLR camera and to get the DSLR camera feed from the camera into a webcam feed, which is amazing for when we're on client calls. We believe that presenting yourself the best on a client call is a reason for them to trust you. It means that you care about the way that you come across. It's not showboaty, it just helps them see you in a clearer image. So this is a big one for us, having a capture card that allows us to get the best image possible when talking or presenting to clients. One thing I recommend all designers get is an iPad. I think the iPad Pro M4 is one, overkill because it's so thin, you're constantly scared of breaking it. But the great thing is, you've got an Apple Pencil, you can now draw on this thing. It's incredible. You can draw digitally, which for me speeds up the workflow, but not only speeds it up, but it actually helps me get more out of it as well. I can actually do things faster. I can be a bit more creative in some ways. So I love drawing on the iPad, but not only that, it's great for taking notes. It's great for annotating designs if you're doing annotations for designs. So if you're umming and ahhing about an iPad, I would 100% get one, and also get like a matte screen protector. I use Paperlike, I think they're great. They're not sponsoring this video, but I use them all the time just to keep the screen safe, but also because it feels like paper when we're actually drawing on it. Now, when I'm using my Mac, but I don't really want to be using a mouse because my hands are hurting, I like to use the Wacom Intuos Pro medium one. And the reason why is because it's great. It's basically one big graphics tablet, and if you don't know what that is, a graphics tablet allows you to use one of these special pens to control your computer. And because you're able to control the computer with it, it feels like you're drawing, so you're in a more natural position when you're using this. And of course, this one, the medium one, is great. I've always had a graphics tablet, but I recently, about a year ago, bought this one, and it comes with me everywhere. It goes into my backpack with the pencil because it's Bluetooth, and it's also got USB-C connections on it. So we use this a lot because this is how I feel comfortable designing fonts and everything else. So that is the rundown of basically the tech that we have that we use for graphic design and brand identity purposes. All of them, I wouldn't say are hugely necessary aside from the computer, but they do make my life and everyone else's lives and my clients' lives a lot better and easier when working on projects. If you're new here, then please subscribe. I make graphic design content weekly, sometimes twice weekly. I might go back to twice weekly. I'll speak to Cam, the editor. Oh yeah, I should give like an honorable mention, by the way, to a Kindles, especially the Kindle Scribe, where you can draw and make notes. You know, it's the GOAT, really. It allows you to really take notes and read books. And I think not enough designers read books anymore. I think we need to be reading and learning theories as well as doing the practical side. So take that. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't seen me before, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you soon.